This is Cairo Legendary. Sen versus 27 and T. It's lit. 27 and T are building their CC. They were all shielded in base shields a little while ago. Sen have the territory around them. They have a lot of Sen bases around them. On other side of bridge there are some S40 bases and some Sen bases as well. There is also a fight going on here. So it's lit. It's lit. Legendary is lit. S40 are sending their army groups. They make army groups really fast. So S40 are super active. Goth have come back. They were on this side earlier. Sen were attacking them a couple of hours ago. Then they built their defenses, the turrets and roadblocks and everything, and put a lot of Goth bases on this side. Then Sen went to attack 27 NT, and 300 moved out. 300 moved out because F2P built their CC here to take military lab, but they weren't able to because PFK built their CC here, and 300 all jumped here, and 300 attacked, and PFK attacked F2P bases. So they took them out a lot, and afterwards now F2P have jumped back and they have started targeting Goth. Alongside S40. S4 300 also has some bases. They have one group here, but not a lot of them here. So it will be another stalemate, staring contest. Few going forward and backwards, and not a lot of fighting. Because everyone just want to save the reserves, because big bases they eat a lot of reserves. If a group attack goes wrong, then you end up losing thousands of reserves. I think the reserve capacity has to be increased, or the recovery rate has to be increased, especially with the introduction of Navy. I've always advocated for the increase in limit of reserves at least. Because right now it's preventing the fighting. Because nobody wants to be the aggressor, nobody wants to attack first, nobody wants to clean out all the bases, because the reason is simple: attacker is at a disadvantage. That's why everyone wants to be a turtle. They just want to sit in their bases and get attacked, because you just fly away as soon as your base gets blown without losing any reserves, or maybe losing a little bit, and the attacker can potentially lose a lot. So it's just not like worth it to be an attacker. Like, you don't get any rewards, you just lose reserves and you have to buy the reserve packs. So the game developers have to do something about this. They might have to cut their revenue a little bit from the reserve packs because they have to increase the fight. They have to increase the fighting to keep the gameplay alive, and in order to do so, they'll have to increase the reserve limits or reserve recovery rate. Like, this is a must because with the introduction of fortified walls being so high and everything, and the researchers being maxed, so it really gets very hard, to blow up whales, especially when there are so many bases, right? Bases still get blown up in seconds. Don't get me wrong, but the point I'm trying to make is to encourage more fighting, they have to increase the reserve recovery rate or maybe increase the limit or maybe increase both by a little bit. Because right now people just sit for 12 to 15 hours. They don't attack, they fight, they let the reserves heal, and then they fight only when the blockhouse opens or when something like that. So the other 15 to 18 hours, there's just nothing happening in C4. In most C4s, not just in Legendary or one C4. This is the case even in silver, in gold, everywhere. So they'll just make massive army groups and park here. Maybe take out a few bases and just in 2 hours and then just disband the groups again. I see there's just few F2P bases, but nobody's attacking. They're just gonna sit here and do nothing. Both sides would want the other side to initiate the attacks. There should be more rewards for attacking a base as well. I know developers did say they are going to reward the aggressors more, but I don't know when will that happen. But definitely the aggressor needs to be rewarded more because you are going all out your way, you're losing the reserves, you're losing your super heavy, you're losing your infantry, trying to siege a base, and then you're getting nothing out of it. The other player just flies away and you lose your reserves and you gain nothing, basically. So that's very discouraging. That's why neither sides want to attack, they just want to sit in their bases. To break this chain, Lilith has to come up with something like increase the reserve recovery rate or maybe limit. I think making bases weaker isn't a good solution because you have to keep the defense strong, but at the same time, it's very hard to do one versus one at such high level, at whale scale level, but with massive army groups like S40 makes like 10 groups or more than that even at some time. Every base gets blown up in seconds. But the point is, sometimes, like in most cases, if your groups are not very well coordinated, if you don't have a very strong tanking unit or soaking unit, and the other player just uses a tactic on your soaker or something like that's initiating the siege on your base. If you're a whale, you'll end up like killing a lot of units, costing a lot of reserves to the enemies while just sitting in your base. and not losing any of yours. So that's what actually encourages turtling, and that's what discourages clans or alliances to initiate massive attacks against others or do even one versus one. So they need to come up with solution, because I have been recording this legendary. I have so many videos in my phone that I didn't even upload because there were groups like this that kept sitting for hours. Literally, I was on my phone waiting for the fight to happen, and I slept because nothing really happened. They will just keep sitting for hours and nobody would attack anybody else. This is how most of things are going on. I think I'm gonna end the video because no fight is gonna take place. Yeah, Spurty going back.